Next step, we will have Datu from GameLab. Who will be speaking on games, serious games, game-based learning, gamification in higher learning, and so on. So GameLab has been with SUTD since the beginnings. They have done many educational projects with institutions and other organizations. So we have invited them to talk about the differences of, what does games mean? What does that term mean? Game, serious games, gamification, and game-based learning, and how can we incorporate that in our blended learning that we are talking about, right? So without much ado, may I invite Mr. Datu Yogabrata from GameLab. Datu, you're here?
Yes, can you hear my voice?
Yeah, loud and clear. So it's all yours, so I'll mute myself.
All right, well, thank you so much. So before that, let me just share my presentation slide. Okay, so I believe everybody see my presentation slide. Yes? Okay. So
yes, we can see. Yeah.
Okay. So let's begin. So okay, a little bit background about myself. I mean, thanks to Nacha to introduce me and GameLab. So I'm a game designer working for SUTD GameLab, and I've been with SUTD for 5 years. And in total, I have around 10 years of experience in the game development settings in Singapore. And I've been releasing 5 games so far. So it's just worth mentioning that 2 of my last game, Kineticos and Project Pair, is made by together with SUTD GameLab. And this one is a collaboration with the SUTD marketing, and this one is a collaboration with the IDC in SUTD. Right. So today I'm going to talk about game-based learning in education. Yeah. So the topics is about play, about games, and about the method of a gamification. And I will provide some of example, on the gamification. So let's begin with play first. Yeah. So what is play? So play is basically is a basic expression of all living creatures like animals, humans. Yeah. So it's blended in when we were born in this world, and this is like a basic expression of play. Like when a baby interacting with their mother is a basic expression of play. So play is an activity for enjoyment. It's spontaneous. It's a response to one's existence. So if you want to exist in this world, you need to be able to play, to express yourself. All right. So play involves all of those kind of 5 senses, like eyesight, touch, smell, hearing, and taste. So you can see in this picture, this baby, it's very curious. It's driven by curiosity. And then he tried to use their eyesight, smell, touch, and then in the end it will end up in his mouth, because there's a sort of a curiosity, and he just want to play with the things, So the play continue going on until he encountered the first problem, hey, if I have this kind of shape, how do I fit in this kind of object into the box? So then suddenly a play becomes rigid. A play becomes driven towards one direction. So this kind of a problem-solving skills develop to improve the motoric skills, because he's touching stuff, confidence, memory, because he tried to remember is this shape works properly with this kind of holes, and then he tried to do some sort of exploration, and then he start to do imagination, and then all of those stuff suddenly become a new form of play. So what are the objects of play? Because this is not the only objects of play that we got. So objects of play, apparently there are a lot of objects of play, but then I can dissect the object of play into 4 things with the 4 category. So it needs to be able to capture imagination. So for example, a storytelling is a very basic form of play objects. When you tell a story, you basically like capture people's imagination to imagine about like what are the things that you are telling about. And then, for example, like a toys, yeah, toys is interactable, is manipulable, so you can play around with toys, you can stretch it, you can hold it, you can lift it, you can do whatever stuff, yeah. But it has no goals or competition. And then like when it comes to puzzle, so it's really like a tickle your brain to say like, hey, this is a puzzle. So can you find a solution towards this puzzle, right? So there is a goal. So suddenly like the play has like a sudden like a direct goal, like what I need to do if I have this kind of a play object. And then finally, games is the one that arguable like a most complete of everything. So it has a imagination, manipulable goals, and that sort of competition. Because human is also like a born with a sense of competition. Like I want to be the winner. I want to be like on top of everybody else. I want to be expressing myself to be the best. Yeah. So this is common like when it has a game loop. That what we call a game event. So the game itself, it has like some sort of like a game event, and then like this game event giving a problem or a question to the player, and then like a players will invoke an action, and then like the action will give a result, and then this result will feedback again to the game event, and then the game event will adapt accordingly. And then like the players will think like, oh, okay, if I do this kind of input and this is the result, so probably like I need to change my approach, or should I like go ahead with that kind of approach? Yeah. So this will keep our brain like thinking and continuously trying to solve that sort of problem. Yeah. So a little bit of history. Game has been around since the humanity already set up a settlement. Like this is just a few games of the ancient games that survive until today. Like Mancala is about 5000 BC in Africa, and then playing cards around 9th century in China, and then chess around 16th century in the Europe. Yeah. And then like we enter the digital age where the video games start to emerge. Yeah, so starting from 1970s until now, the video games are booming. Video games are expanding, and then everybody have an access to video games these days. Like so, all of your mobile phone these days able to run video games. So now the games, when people like creating a games at the beginning, the only sole purpose is only for entertainment. Yeah. But then like as the more study been done on video games, it's also like it can be used for serious purpose, like healthcare, physiotherapy, or training, education, marketing awareness, and so on. Sorry, somebody like dropping the chat. Okay, no, nothing. Okay, and then marketing awareness and so on. So we're trying to focus like on training and education. Yeah. So next page. Okay, so it lies with the player motivation. So if we want to capture the player's motivation, we put them like in the fun activity as the core. Yeah. And then like once they're doing like that fun activity as the core, yeah, so they just keep doing it for fun, keep doing it for fun, keep doing it for fun. And then we can put in like hey, this is the learning stuff that you need to do. And then like without they realizing it, they're actually learning. So after they learn, after they become so addicted with that kind of a fun activity, and then like we can say like okay, do as I say, and then like the fun will continue. So that's how we staggered how to motivate our players. Yeah. So I start with the proverb, like this kind of proverb. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Yeah. So what's the solution to make him drink? So there are two ways of the solution. So first, dip him in the water, or make him thirsty, and then like he just look for the water by himself. So game is most probably like the one that making the horse thirsty. Yeah. So we don't really force the horse to the water, but we make him thirsty, and then he will look for the water. So how do we do it? Yeah. So it lies with the player motivation, with the extrinsic and intrinsic. So we start firstly with the intrinsic motivation. So this is like we establishing a regulation, we establishing an authority, say like, hey, if you don't do this, you will get into trouble. Then whether they like it or not, they will do it. It may work, but maybe like it's not so efficient because they are being forced to do it, right? And then the second one is something like an introjection. It just feels like giving them something that they feel bad if they don't do it. So it just feels like it's okay for you not to doing it, but then like by not doing it, maybe like you cannot sleep at night because you keep thinking about like maybe I should do it so then I can feel better. Yeah. And then after that, like this is the boundary of the extrinsic motivation. If we want to go for the intrinsic motivation, we try to do like a identification, meaning that we provide them with the activity that this activity is really important for them. It's really meaningful for them. If they're doing it, it will beneficial for them. Yeah. So identification integration is the same. Yeah. This activity is meaningful, and then this is like the stuff that we try to provoke, whereby this activity is so fun. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I cannot stop myself from doing it because this activity is so fun. And how do we do it? Yeah. So as a game developer, we try to borrow an approach from this website, Yu Kaicho. So he's a game designer that coming up with all of these checklists. So I wouldn't go into a detail like all of these checklists, but then like there are like a four quadrants. Yeah. So there is a meaning, avoidance, social influence, ownership, and then like accomplishment, empowerment, scarcity, and unpredictability. So all of these elements, when we creating an apps or we creating a games, it has to be we try to checking ourselves like okay, if is it like our apps or our solution has a meaning to our audience, or maybe like is something that we are trying to develop to the students, is there any meaning to the students, or what is the students trying to avoid when doing this stuff. Yeah. So I will just put on like into an example of a few video games. For example, like a Pokemon Go. So I picked this because I hope most of you like playing Pokemon Go at some point. So the meaning, yeah, the meaning value of this game is very important because like they put you into a Pokemon trainer. Yeah, it's something that you don't use. Maybe like you see the movie, you see the cartoon, and then you say like, oh, I want to be like that Pokemon trainer, and then like these video games able to put you into that shoes. And then like avoidance, like as you play the game, you don't get the Pokemons to run away because you feel like you feel like a gutted feeling like if the Pokemon is run away, I really want to capture it. Yeah. And then like the social influence, like your friends caught Pikachu, have you got yours? So it's kind of like a social pressure that you need to get the specific Pokemons to. And then like ownership, the Pokemons are yours to keep, although like it's a digital, it's only like a digital assets, but then like it's really tied to you because like that's the only Pokemon that you can keep and it's yours. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with it, it's yours. And then you can do like an accomplishment, like a training your Pokemon, and so on. Yeah. So this is what I think like a why Pokemon Go is successful in the market. Yeah. And then the other one that I want to talk about is MMORPG. So it's a massively multiplayer online role-playing games. It's quite mouthful, but this is like one of the genre that requires you to connect through the internet, and then like you play around with you play with hundreds or maybe like 1,000 of players like worldwide in the same games. And then like in the example of a Ragnarok Online, yeah, it's very important because like you are an adventurer in Midgard, and then you can level up your weapons, you can level up your characters, and then you can also like join guilds and doing a social interaction with the other players, and then like form up a party in the form up a battle party, and then like a scarcity whereby, oh, the golden equipment are so rare but they are so powerful, so I really want to have that. Yeah. So so all of these kind of elements is really important for us a game developer to check ourselves whether we have this feature already or not. If we not, then we might have like a something that we can improve in the design to to capture their attention. Yeah. So it's not only for games, but also like for social media. For example, like a Facebook. I would say like a Facebook is also like why they are successful in the market is because they allow us to stalking friends, avoiding of public shamings, follower counts, touting arguments, memories, moment friends. So all of these elements are really like somewhat established on Facebook. And then like I would like to touch about the homework assignment. So when we give like a homework assignment, mostly for the students, maybe like a students like are not so motivated because they're asking like, okay, why do I have to work in this homework? What accomplishment can I get if I do this homework? And the only thing that probably like keep them doing is the avoidance, whereby if you don't do a homework, you get punishment, you get fail grades, and so on, right? So how can we make studying better? Yeah. So I'm thinking like maybe like an example in gamification in math. Yeah. So probably like in the primary school, like this is the problem of the students in primary school, whereby they tried the teacher like giving them like algebra equation, and then like they're trying to solve it, and then most of them already lost like a half the way, like okay, I don't really understand this. So how can gamification help them and so them like to get a better understanding on this mathematics? So to first thing first, this is what the gamification not supposed to do is just digitization. So gamification is more than just digitization, because this is just like a bad example that I gave, that although like the visual is appealing, like they have like a cartoon and colorful, but then like the problem is still like in the face, like a feeling like okay, solve this equation, and then like you will get right or wrong. So instead, try to do this. Teach them secretly. So I will play a short video whereby this is a game about, it's available in the market. So you just like a grouping the picture together. You grouping the picture, you grouping the picture, and then like slowly the picture become numbers, yeah. And then like you can unlock some animal or some monsters, yeah. And then like they don't realize that they actually like this game is actually like teaching the logic of algebra equation, yeah. So after like a few hours of play, they don't know if they actually like playing math, yeah. They actually like trying to solve the math problem. So that's what I say, like it's teaching secretly, like a teaching algebra. So starting from just pictures, okay, pictures same together. You just swap the pictures to the left or to the right, and then like slowly like we change the pictures into variables, yeah, and then like slowly like it becomes all numbers, yeah, after 4 hours of play. So in a sense, like a gamification is a building a mindset of playing games to solve a real problem. So when they next day they come to school and then like trying to solve the algebra equation, they remembers like okay, last night I played this game with this kind of a set of logic. So now if I apply the same set of logic to this kind of a real world equation, then I'll be able to solve it. Yeah. So the technique to drive motivation, yeah, as I said, there are like many kind of techniques. So the common mechanic is like applying points, badges, leveling, leaderboard, challenges. So all of this like is a balance between extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Yeah. So okay, now let's say for example, like okay, I want to create a gamification. So where do I start? Yeah, so we start with the learning objective first. So what is the learning objective? The learning objective helps to formulate a proper game mechanic. So I just borrowed like a layer from Bloom taxonomy, from remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. So then like we know like what is the learning outcome one after they play our games, and then like what is the learning outcome that they could learn. So I just put up an example in here that, for example, like we want them to understand about cars, yeah, just a car, a vehicle, a car, yeah. So they're able, so in the remember a layer, they're only like able to recall the information, and it becomes like a common knowledge for them, like, hey, this is a car. So the game that we could apply to them is like a, you know, like the game where you flip, you flip the card, and then like there are like you have to match the two cars, yeah. So this one is like a really help them remember easily, like so this is the shape of the car, yeah. So normally like this kind of remember layer is used by marketing, because the marketing, they want people to remember their brand. They want people to remember their the shape of their logo, the shape of the product. So they want to slowly like embed that sort of marketing collaterals inside the brain. So this kind of a remember state is really useful for that purpose. Okay, so after the remember, we try to do like a understanding. So understanding is more towards like, okay, now you already know about the cars. Okay, what is the car can do? Okay, so for example, like, okay, in the end, like a cars can locomote by rotation of the wheels, right? Because car has a wheel. So probably like we could create like a toy in either in real life or video games, and then like ask them to play, whereby like, hey, if you press this button, and then like the wheel will rotate, and then the car will move forward, and then they will understand like, oh, okay, so cars actually like can move forward by rotating the wheel, right? So after they understand the concept of the car, then probably like we could also putting like a apply. So apply is like a more to like use and implement a knowledge in a new situation. So after you know like the rotation of the wheel, so probably like we could create a game whereby like it simulates a real life traffic, whereby like there's a building, there's a road, there's an intersection, and there's like other stuff going around, and then you have to play your game with the accelerator and brakes, and this is like to navigate your car, right? So after they understand this, they understand like, okay, so I can drive the car, and then I have to stop to avoid collision and so on, right? So then like I know that the cars can be used in the urban area, and then like this one is really like educating like when I have to stop, when I have to see like other traffics coming. So then like I know that the cars is actually like able to do the this kind of situation. And then if we want to go like a deeper, we put it like until like analyze, whereby they can draw the connection amongst areas. So for example, like relate the car components into the driving behavior. So for example, like there are a few games out there that invokes like a car tuning. So car tuning, like for example, like if you change the gear into a certain ratio, then this is like the behavior that you can do with the cars. The cars can go slower, the cars can go faster, and probably like if you change the brake pressure, and like this is like how the brake behavior will do, yeah. So at least like they already like drawn the idea of like what makes the mechanic in the car able to affect the behavior of the car. And then the next thing is evaluate. This is the evaluation where you need to justify and argue and critique your concept, and then like why the concept is like this. So for example, like a driving simulator, yeah. So driving simulator is also like a popular games where they simulate the entire feeling as you driving inside the car with the proper steering wheel, the proper pedals, and then like you can see like as if like you are inside the car. So in here, like you can try to do the braking, and then try to do like a cornering and certain stuff, and then you can feel the car to be like a oversteer or understeer, and then you can use like your brake bias to the front or to the rear, yeah, and then you can see like how the car's moving, and you can feel it, yeah. And then like finally is create. Okay, after you understand how to drive the car, after you understand how the mechanic works, so probably like what can you do with driving? So for example, like there is a game to teach you like how to drift. So drifting is like you basically like get the rear wheel like so fast, so to the extent that the car is drift and you have to be able to control it. Yeah. So it's a produce like a new original work, new original of play, right? So there are like a few other example that I think could be gamified. Yeah. So for example, like CPR. Yeah. So let me see if okay. Okay, I cannot get the sounds going, but then like you remember like this kind of game whereby like they have like a rhythm, and then you have to hit the rhythm at the correct pace. We actually can adopt that mechanic into a training people with to do a CPR. So CPR normally like they're using this kind of mannequin. So imagine like if we could combine what happened in this mannequin into like this kind of visuals, then they try to matching the rhythm to the extent that like when they do a real stuff, they already have the muscle memory to see like okay, then I just remember when I playing this game, and then like my muscle memory already like telling me like how to pump the person. And then another things that okay, let me just stop this. Okay, another one that's a prototype by SUTD GameLab is an arm therapy game. So I just give you like explain how this thing works. So you remember, so this is the player, I mean myself. Okay, so I'm holding a mobile phone, and this is the visual of the mobile phone. So this game like this prototype of the game like telling like hey, this is the you are a firefighter, and then trying to put up the fire in a building. Yeah. So the way to do it is like I'm moving my arm like up and down. Yeah. So if I want to shoot the fire like on the top, then I put it like up high. Yeah. So in a sense, like this is like giving me like a motivation to move my hand like up and down accordingly, and then like the position of the fire actually like giving me a control if they want to tell me to pointing downward or pointing upward, and this is like a set on the position of the fire. Yeah. So what does this signify? This actually like a signify the this one. So there is like in the hospital, like they have like a therapy for arms that they have to hold like a fabric for a few seconds, and then like move the fabric up or move the fabric down. So imagine if we strap like this fabric with the mobile phone in the middle, and then like they are able to play the game, and then they don't realize that actually like they're doing that sort of physical therapy. Yeah. So that's about the gamification. So if you'd like to know more about GameLab, so you could get into this website, and then like you will be directed to our more of our portfolio. So thank you so much for your attention. I'll just put it here.
Thank you very much, Datu. That was really insightful talk as well. Very interesting how to engage students using games. Very well broken down. I have a question for you. Maybe you can type it in the box as Sid goes on, because we are like trying to manage time here. What would be a good book or resource to understand a bit more on the concepts that you have explained? Very well explained. I think we should really have another workshop with you. Really well done. Thank you so much.